Still in there?
It's right there.
Oh.
That one right there that flew over your head. Today is Sunday, May something. I don't know what it is. I've got two cameras today. I have the Sony A9 with the 200 to 600 native lens, and I also have my Nikon D780 with the Tamron 150 to 600 G2 lens. I'm going to compare both. The reason I'm using the D780 is because it's a 24 megapixel sensor or camera. I'm watching all the birds. Ignore the large crowds and the trash, but we're gonna go wander. I'm gonna compare the two. Same gray flat light. Same birds. So it should be an interesting comparison. Let's go hiking. Actually, I'm gonna get my stuff ready and we're gonna go. Okay, turn the camera off. This, I'll turn this way so you need to have this real nice, sun would be over that way. Actually, the sun probably is up there now. Got some, shooting these swallows is really hard, but I've gone back and forth shooting some of these things between the Sony and the Nikon D780, as I said earlier, because I wanted to shoot both with the same megapixel sensor, and both lenses, they're not fast lenses, but with the same reach on both. Just watching the vultures here are absolutely so cool. It's actually a really neat area. In a bit we'll head home and look at the differences between the two cameras. They're both set auto ISO, cloudy for a white balance. I'd really love to get a really sharp photo. The cool thing about the D780 in the camera is you can actually see what your ISO is even though you're on auto. With the Sony, I can't. It just says auto ISO, so I have it limited to, like, I don't know, what did I say, 6,000, 20,000, whatever it is, 20,000. And the Nikon, I don't think I do, but I can see where the spot meter is, so I'm not overexposing, I'm not underexposing. Whereas with the Sony, I don't have a clue. The other thing is that I don't have the Sony, it's, as I said earlier, it's uncompressed now, and I don't have it set on high, it's set on medium. I should probably slow it down even more just to see if that helps. What I'm really looking at is the color. And I see spots on this lens, so that must be from the sprinkles in the air. JonnyPink, well, thank you for sticking it out this far with me. That I do appreciate. I appreciate it a lot. The reason for comparing these two, I absolutely love having an EVF. The electronic viewfinder, I think, is phenomenal on the mirrorless. And Sony, well, right now I think they probably have one of the best. I am a Nikon guy. I want so much to like the Sony. I love their autofocus. Man, it is insane. But again, I'm a Nikon guy, and the reason I chose the D780 is, again, the 24 megapixel sensor, comparing it to the 24 megapixel sensor. When I compare my D850 to the Nikon D780, those extra megapixels make a huge difference. So I can see the A1 being absolutely amazing. It's not in my price range right now. I will wait for the Nikon Z9 and hope, you know, that will be in my price range because I'm a Nikon guy. What I've noticed is, well, let me go back to one of the things that I said. When I shoot my wildlife photography, I put it in auto ISO and I control my shutter speed. It's not like being in shutter priority because I am also controlling my aperture. If I want to set it to f8 or f9, even f11 if I'm shooting something, or you know, really get down to f22 if it's landscape, I do that. But I control the shutter speed so that I get the exposure that I want. With the Sony, you're looking at the EVF, and yes, you have a histogram, but it's not the same. In the Nikon, I can tell where my auto ISO is, so I kind of gauge it by that. Plus, I've got the light meter that I'm used to seeing in the center. With Sony, it might be a setting in there. I just haven't found it yet. If somebody knows, please let me know, not just calling me clueless. I think Sony is phenomenal. I really do. And the D780 and the A9, they both have an auto feature. So if you're a newer shooter, fantastic. If you don't know how to control your light to get what you want, that's perfect. I personally think that the 20 frames per second that it offers is overkill, so I have stopped it way down. I don't need, you know, hold it down for 5 bursts. I don't need a couple hundred shots of the same bird flying. I just need 1, maybe 2 or 3 that I can choose from, and I get that with a Nikon, and I'm happy with that. It's perfect. What I have noticed, again, this is just me, this is my opinion, the D780, the reason I like it over the D850 sometimes is at a higher ISO of 5,000, 6,000, even higher, it's still really clean. The Sony is also extremely clean at that, but it's not much different than it is at the lower ISOs, and I still find those kind of noisy. The other thing is, again, I will go back to the color. I've gotten better as I've used the Sony at trying to pull out some more of the richness, but it's still missing something. And that was my reason for doing these back-to-back. 24 megapixel sensor, both great at high ISOs. And they're both phenomenal cameras. If you're out shooting, man, the whole thing about shooting is creating and just having fun. So these are my opinions, and I wanted to present it back-to-back with the same two cameras. I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to keep shooting the A9 for a long time because it is fun. One other thing that I've found interesting is when I switch over in the Nikon to a single point, I can do that really fast. And I'm sure that even though I have it set that way on the A9, I prefer it on the Nikon. I can go exactly where I want for the focus that I want. On the A9, a lot of times I find myself getting frustrated and just putting it into manual focus on the lens itself to get what I want. I do like that it zooms in, and I love the focus peaking. There's a lot of things to love about it. So they're both great cameras, and it's just a lot of fun. It's about creating, and again, most importantly, just enjoying pushing the shutter and coming out with the little treasures, the moments in time that you capture. So that's it. My 2 cents worth, and if you stuck around this long, hey, thanks. JonnyPink, you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you out there either with the long lens or I'll be on my bike. We'll see you guys. Thanks a lot.